Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Platinum with only one Kecleon was a really fun solo run. Let's follow that up with a brutal one. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon White 2 with a team of only one Pikachu? Alright, you know the drill when it comes to Pikachu, right? Despite being the mascot of the franchise, Pikachu is incredibly weak, especially in these earlier games before it got buffed just a little bit. We have awful health and defense, a little bit of special attack and great speed. Our ability is static, so sometimes we'll paralyze them when they hit us with a contact move, but it's really not that strong of an ability. By level up, we get our hands on some pretty solid electric moves like Electro Ball and Thunderbolt, but not a whole lot that we're good with. I think the double team is going to be important though. Normally I avoid going too heavy into evasion moves nowadays, but it's a level up move for us and we're incredibly frail. If we can save having to level up a ton just by using a few double teams, then it's totally worth it. By TM, we have a decent variety of moves we can learn, but some of these just aren't realistic for us to get because of it being gated behind stuff like the Battle Subway. Really, Dig might be the only TM that we can both get and that we care about. Our options are pretty limited. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through the challenge, so all this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I think it's pretty likely I can't win this run, but I figure I'll at least make it to the Elite Four. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Pikachu. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. Right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Oshawott with Pikachu so that we can do the whole run with it. I name him Emolga because that's hilarious. Looks like we have more special attack and less special defense. It took tons of restarts to get that because I just kept getting awful natures. Alright, now I know that the early game in this run is going to be rough. Pikachu is a pretty weak Pokemon overall, and we're only going to have Thunder Shock for a while. It's a pretty weak move, we don't hit hard with that at all. There's also a lot of grass types early on, in both regular trainer battles and against our rival. There's no way we can beat our rival until we level up at least enough to get Thunder Wave, and I figure the normal gym is going to take ages to beat. Even once we do, the Poison Gym is right after, and I don't think that's going to be easy either. I could see us not getting past the normal gym until we have Electro Ball at level 18, but it would be incredibly slow to grind that much this early in the game. It wouldn't be that bad if this wasn't Gen 5, but it is, so we get a lot less experience when fighting lower leveled Pokemon, so let's really hope for the best. So after tons of grinding, we did the first rival fight, and although I guess we didn't need to grind that bad, I know it's just because of insane paralysis luck. He literally never attacked us once. That went so well. I know for sure I'll have to grind a lot before the normal gym though. I don't expect that to go well at all. So even after grinding for ages to get to level 13, we can't take down his first Pokemon. We take tons of damage from moves as simple as Tackle. I think I'll have to come back every 2 levels and then keep trying. Okay, it took a couple of tries at level 15, but we ended up getting both great paralysis luck and a lucky critical hit to win pretty easily. It helps that they wasted some time with workup just to not hit us, but it wasn't an easy win. Alright, we have the Poison Gym, the Bug Gym, then Colress. For once I think Colress will be fine, and I'm not even that worried about the Poison Gym since we'll have Electro Ball soon, but I think that the Bug Gym could be a problem. Leavanny is part grass, so I don't think we're gonna do much damage. Plus, don't they have String Shot? If we lose our speed advantage, that'll make Electro Ball weaker. We're gonna have leftovers by then, so maybe the extra health will save us, but I'm skeptical. I really wish that I had more type coverage, but we just don't. I might actually have to use Double Team for that fight. Yeah, evasion's kind of a boring strategy, but we learn Double Team by level up as Pikachu, so I feel like it's fair game. It's part of our intended moveset and not just a TM that most Pokemon can learn, you know? We'll see if it comes to that though, maybe I'm overly worried. So the Poison Gym was actually harder than it had any right to be. Thunder Wave and Electro Ball was able to one-shot anything in the gym that I was fighting until I ran into her Whirlipede, who is just taking us out pretty quickly with a few Venishocks. Even after using Thunder Wave, we still need 2 hits to take it out. 3 if we don't use Thunder Wave. Because of that, I had to try the fight another 4 times, and although we never got her to miss a single turn, she randomly used Pursuit once, and it was weaker so we could win. I'm really not feeling good about this early game stuff. Let's hope the Bug Gym isn't as bad as I think it could be. So after grinding a lot in the sewers, I made my way to the Bug Gym. It starts incredibly with us getting one double team in for safety, then we didn't take a single hit getting to Leavanny at the end. The problem is that we lost tons of speed to String Shot, so it weakened our Electro Ball a lot. It was still enough to take out Dwebble easily, but it really wasn't doing anything to either of the grass types. I even landed Return, so we'd have a stronger non-electric move, but it hardly did anything. I think our friendship is pretty good too, we're just really weak. We had good luck with moves missing thanks to Double Team, but we didn't come anywhere close to making Leavanny faint. I don't want to just spam out a bunch of Double Teams, so I think I'll just have to get stronger. Why do I get the feeling I'm going to have to grind before just about every gym this run? Okay, so I leveled to 30 before trying again, getting Thunderbolt along the way. I decided to replace Electro Ball. I know it can be stronger than Thunderbolt if we're way faster than our opponent, but I'd rather the reliability of Thunderbolt. This is still just going awful though. Literally one non-critical Razor Leaf, and our Pikachu faints from nearly full health. Alright, I think I have to bite the bullet and just spam Double Team at the start while they're String Shotting us. I mean, that's gonna be a lot better than just massively over-leveling, right? At least it will make the next few fights more interesting due to being a lower level. So I tried the fight again, this time by building up 6 Double Teams at the start. We did still take some hits as the fight went on, but our leftovers very slowly healed us back up to full. We were only healing by 4 health per turn, so it's really slow, but it was enough to keep us safe. I'm not sure if any of Leavanny's Razor Leaves would have helped us one-shot from full health without a crit, but it really wouldn't shock me if it could. Let's just hope that Colress is easy by comparison like I think he will be. So believe it or not, but this Colress fight took several tries as I was trying to figure out how to win. First of all, I have to start with one Double Team, not Thunderwave, or we just risk losing too many turns. I think at this point Thunderwave is just rarely worth using when I could be using Thunderbolt an extra time. What I don't get, and what made me lose a few times, is the Clink fight. The first 2 times I tried this, Thunderbolt was doing just slightly too little damage for a 2-shot, but this third attempt we were doing way more damage. I don't really know why, it seems like too big of a difference to be a normal damage range. It's weird. We ended up losing this fight a few times between Gear Grind being so strong and the Sandstorm undoing our leftovers, but this time, we ended up winning. I'm sure that static paralyzing Clink really helped us. Hey, are you ready for the streak of having to grind before every gym to continue? 'Cause I am. Because we have the Electric Gym and the Ground Gym coming up. At least after that, I have the Always Easy tournament, but man, I know these next 2 gyms are gonna be brutal. Yeah, I can get the Dig TM now, and I absolutely am going to get it, but how am I supposed to deal with the Emolga? It can fly. I guess I just have to brute force it with Thunderbolt, but you know I'm going to get paralyzed at some point in that fight, and it's all going to go downhill from there. Then after that is the Ground Gym, and I think we'll have to crack out the rare candies for that one, even if we're going to spam Double Team. I bet his whole team could just sweep us. To say that I'm not looking forward to the Ground Gym is a huge understatement. I don't know why I picked to do such a difficult run when I'm recording this in the middle of April when I'm streaming daily, but it was on the schedule, so I'm doing it. Wish me luck. I'm gonna need it. Alright, first try at the Electric Gym, and we start with an Emolga mirror match. We use one Double Team right away, then start Thunderbolting. Even with us being faster, Emolga quickly switched to Quick Attack, so that got us 3 hits before we took it down. And it was actually hitting a lot harder than I thought it would. We lost a lot of health. Thankfully, against Flaffy, we just critted Dig for a one-shot, getting us 2 full turns to heal with leftovers. I don't think that we would have gotten a one-shot if not for that crit, though. Last was Zebstrika, and things fell apart when it outsped us and one-shot us. I don't even think we would have gotten that far if not for the crit, so I think we're gonna have to come back stronger. Alright, so I got 5 more levels, and had to try this one a few times thanks to getting crit, but it seems like they almost always do the same thing. Emolga always ends up switching after a few hits, so I accidentally Thunderbolt Zebstrika to speed it up, but I think it would have been faster than me anyway. I lost the first couple times because one of Zebstrika's flame charges would crit, but this time it actually missed a lot, just from that one Double Team, so it went down but we still had a lot of health left. Flaffy couldn't really do much, although it did survive the first dig, and of course when Emolga came back in, we just hit Thunderbolt to take it out. It wasn't exactly an easy fight, but it wasn't horrible. Speaking of, we have the Ground Gym next, and you know that's gonna be bad. So I got to the gym leader, and not only does he open with Intimidate so our attack is down the whole fight, but he one-shots us with Bulldoze. That's only a 60 power move, and yet it instantly takes us down. Even if he had missed thanks to Double Team, we obviously couldn't have one-shot him. I think it's obvious that I have to level up a lot, at least until I can survive a hit. Not even Double Team alone can save us here. So I rare candy up 5 levels and try a couple times. We can survive a hit now, so as soon as we get a run where Krokorok misses one of his attacks, we're just hardly able to take him out. The problem is, right after that is Sandslash, and we did almost no damage to him, then got taken out. Man, this is gonna be a lot harder than I thought. We might not even be able to win below level 60. I really wish I could just get Grass Knot for this fight, but you can't get it in the Pinwheel Forest until post-game, so we really do just have to rely on Dig and Return for this fight. Level 50. This time I used Dig against Krokorok, so I had an extra turn of healing before we took it out, but it didn't really matter. We still hardly hurt Sandslash. Yeah, now I'm thinking that it'll take closer to level 70. This is crazy. I'm just gonna keep trying every 5 levels and hope for the best. I'm so happy that I'm allowed to use rare candies once my effort values are maxed out nowadays, because I can promise there's absolutely no way I would have had time to do both this and daily streams without them. So after failing a bunch at level 55, I tried a few times at 60. If I can get Krokorok to miss one attack at the start, then by carefully getting him to use a Hyper Potion with Return, hitting Return again, then using Dig for an extra turn of healing, we can get past him with decent health. Sandslash would still beat us every time, but this time we crit him for a one-shot, and that is huge. Last is Excadrill, and we do great damage with Dig, but then one Bulldoze takes us from nearly full health to nothing at all. This is wild. We need to be more than double his level to beat him at this point. So at level 65, I try more, and now Krokorok is a one-shot with Return, so that makes the start of the fight easier. We still need Sandslash to miss at least one Bulldoze, but I still found ways to get him to use the Hyper Potion and waste as much time as possible so I could heal more. The Excadrill fight at the end goes the same, but we were able to get the second Double Team in this time, so the chance to dodge is pretty high. Now that there's less randomness at the start of the fight, I'm confident that I could just try this a handful of times until we get Excadrill to miss. This shouldn't be too bad. I ended up failing 7 straight tries before I got this insane one. We get hit by Torment early, so we can't use the same move twice in a row. That really changed how I had to play the fight. I ended up using way more double teams than I normally would early on, and we got pretty lucky with misses as we took them out. Sandslash is one I'd normally just try and take out as fast as possible, but I ended up maxing out the rest of my double teams in between hits, and it paid off big time as we took him out with full health left for the first time ever. Now, Excadrill still hits us as soon as we finish using Dig once, but thanks to having full health, we just hardly survived. We couldn't use it a second time in a row because of Torment, so I had to use a weak Return, but thankfully his next Bulldoze missed, so we were then able to Dig to finally finish him off. That fight was unreal! Do I even need to go over the tournament at this point? Yeah, the entire tournament was a sweep. I mean, how could it not be? They only use level 25 Pokemon. We completely annihilated them. Alright, well, I figure the next chunk of the game can't be too bad, right? Like, the Flying Gym is gonna be a breeze, and after that is our rival, who maybe could have been an issue if we were a lower level, but at this point it should be easy. Then it's the Dragon Gym, Zinzolin, and the Water Gym. I could see the Dragon Gym being a problem since they resist electricity and we are pretty frail. And to be honest, Zinzolin could be an issue just thanks to him having 2 Cryogonal. They're very tanky when it comes to special defense, so if Return doesn't do the trick, then that could be a problem. But the Water Gym is probably just gonna be a sweep. I'm thankful for that, because that's actually a really hard gym when you don't have the type advantage. Really, the Dragon Gym is the main upcoming fight that I have some worries about. So let's hope that things go smoothly. I made sure to pick up a magnet along the way to make Thunderbolt just that little bit stronger. Okay, so first is the Flying Gym, and it's a sweep, as I'm sure you expected. You're not ready for what happens next, though. I get to a rival, and although his first Pokemon is easy, his Seviper beats us twice in a row. First to Leaf Blade being a 2-shot, and second to him using Coil a ton, healing up, and then one-shotting us. We nearly doubled our level at the Ground Gym, and here we are, losing to our rival like it's nothing. It really is crazy how frail Pikachu is. I guess I'll just spam out some double teams early in the fight and win that way, since I don't really want to level more. So I try again and only get to use 1 double team because of Taunt. Then Seviper uses 1 Coil, and that's enough to one-shot us with Leaf Blade. This is unreal. I gotta keep trying, right? There's just no way that I can't win at this level. Alright, so it took 3 more tries, and Double Team really did not help us. But eventually, a Thunderbolt paralyzed Seviper, and he stayed fully paralyzed to never hit us, so we could take out his whole team. Realizing that if 2 returns is going to result in a Hyper Potion, then I may as well use Thunderbolt for a 3-shot really helped. Although, just being hit by 2 Leaf Blades, or 1 Leaf Blade after a coil, is still enough to faint. What a weirdly difficult fight. So after failing a bunch of times just trying to get to the Dragon Gym leader, I finally got to him. We instantly failed a few times thanks to doing almost no damage and taking tons, so I equipped a Metronome, an item that makes us do 10% more damage every time we do the same attack in a row. I got 2 double teams in, then I spammed return the whole fight. We actually got insanely lucky with double team getting them to miss, as we easily could have fainted many times. We did take an absolutely massive Dragon Tail at the end, but we hardly held on to win the fight. This only took 5 or 6 tries, and probably should have taken closer to 15, so luck was really on our side. Thankfully, our returns were one-shotting the Cryogonal, so Zinzolin's entire team was pretty easy, and after that was the Water Gym that was nearly a sweep. Jellicent actually survived a Thunderbolt with Magnet to hit us back with a massive Scald. We still won, but man, that hurt. It's crazy to think that we're probably going to have to level up a bunch again soon. So we have the boss rush with all the Team Plasma Goons coming up, the last rival fight, then we're at the Elite Four. I figure Zinzolin should be easy and Colress is probably easy too, but I could see the Getsus fight being the next point that we have to level up a bunch. Plus, our rival is after that, and we only won last time thanks to great luck. This is really looking like it's one of those runs where I hit level 100 and still can't reliably win. I asked before if I should start using Eviolite when I reach level 100, and it seems like the vast majority of people now think that that's worth trying, so I think this is going to be one of those runs. I would love to try a Light Ball since that's a unique item to Pikachu, but I actually don't have any way of getting my hands on one in this run, so I'm just going to have to do it with Eviolite. All that does though is it gives us 50% more defense and special defense. It sounds like a big deal, but when we're already so frail, it might just result in us only being able to take 1 or 2 extra hits. There's instances where Metronome or Magnet might be a better held item for us. I guess we'll be finding out by the end of the run though, because I'll be shocked if we don't hit level 100. So you know how I thought Zinzolin to be easy again? Well, I swept both of his Cryogonal just for him to hit us with Night Slash that takes us to low health, then use Ice Shard to outspeed us and finish us off. Yeah, I think I actually am gonna have to try this a few times with Double Team to win. I'm gonna use Bright Powder to make it easier to dodge too, because I don't think I need a Magnet for this fight. Okay, it only took us 4 tries, and Double Team never ended up saving us, but we fully paralyzed Weavile at the end, and that got us the win. God, it's crazy how frail we are. Wow, and right after that, it turns out that Colress fight is gonna be absolutely brutal, because it opens with a Magneton who uses Thunder Wave every single turn until it gets Paralysis to stick, and I don't have berries to save me. Even the Bright Powder and opening with Double Team every time, I instantly got paralyzed. 17 tries in a row. On the first one where I didn't, I still got paralyzed right after that. Magneton has Sturdy as an ability, so he can't be one-shot, meaning he paralyzes us every time. And because we need to use Dig to win, that means we're twice as likely to fail to hit them due to paralysis. This is a nightmare fight. I'm gonna take us all the way to level 80 and hope that in some way it helps us survive, because we can still hardly take any hits without fainting fast. This is what attempts look like at level 80, by the way. We still get paralyzed even if we get lucky and one Thunder Wave misses, and when Magnezone comes out right after, we can't take it out either because it also has Sturdy and will just heal up. Literally, the only time I've ever made it faint was due to it self-destructing while we were underground. It's at the point where I think I can only win if Magneton misses Thunder Wave twice, but even with Bright Powder and Double Team, I'd have to get really lucky. I tried this fight just over 20 times grand total, and I've never seen it happen. And honestly, what good would that do us? Magnezone right after would for sure just paralyze us. It's at the point where I honestly could see myself having to be close to level 100 to win this, just because I need to be able to survive more hits. I guess I could go get the Eviolite now and try and survive more hits, but then we're ditching the Bright Powder that helps us dodge. I really don't know what the best move is here. Maybe I should use Leftovers and spam Double Team. I'll try that. So I tried a few times with leftovers and us maxing out our double teams, and although we last longer, we still lose every time to either Magneton or Magnezone because Paralysis ruins us, and he's got 2 Pokemon in a row with Sturdy. Okay, I think I have to bite the bullet and level up way more. Look, there's a 0% chance I was gonna beat Getsus at this level anyway. I'm going all the way to level 90 and hoping that we can take enough hits alongside Double Team. It's been a long time since I've had a solo run this hard. I'm really thinking I can't win the run at this point. Alright, this is absolutely maddening. A few tries later, and I finally got the first try in ages where I got past Magnezone, and that was after failing Dig. I think it was 7 times in a row due to paralysis, just to end up getting hit by Klinkling's Giga Impact to get one shot after it shifted gears. I literally have no alternative, I just have to keep trying. Okay, 2 tries later, and we finally won, and it was literally just luck. We lost less turns to paralysis, and the Giga Impact both missed, so we won. I mean, any given move could have hit us and probably taken us out, but we finally just lucked our way through the fight with Double Team. I don't think there's any fight in the game that I've had to try more than this so far, but Getsus is next, and who even knows how that's gonna go. So I tried Getsus a ton more times, and right away the issue is that if Toxic gets us, we're doomed. I never could get more than 2 double teams in before we'd get hit with it, so I decided to just use 1 while he's using Protect. We hit a Thunderbolt, he misses Toxic, then we finish him off. The problem is next is Seismitoad, who instantly one-shots us with Earthquake. Alright, look, no more playing around. I'm gonna get to level 100 and come back with Bright Powder. I think it's our only shot at winning this fight, and even then, it's gonna take a ton of tries. A Petra Berry can only save us from 1 Toxic. I think using Bright Powder and Double Team so that his entire team has troubles hitting us is gonna get us the win, if it's even possible. So I tried this fight over and over and over for an hour. Most of the time he just spams Toxic, so we don't even get that many double teams in. And it got to the point where I realized I would be able to make way more attempts at the rest of the fight if I just do 1 double team and then start using Thunderbolt. I make a bit more progress with that, but it's still rare that I can get to Seismitoad because 1 Toxic hitting means we're ruined. Eviolite doesn't help us survive Toxic, and even a Petra Berry only gets me 1 extra double team at the cost of not having a more useful item for the rest of the fight. So I just stick to it for an hour. Eventually, I got this attempt where I only got 1 double team, but I beat Cofagrigus and just hardly survived an Earthquake and got a 2-shot on Seismitoad. Right after that is Drapion, and I tried for Dig just for him to use Earthquake. We lucked out hard though, and dodged his Earthquake thanks to the double team despite being underground, so we took him out. Next is Hydreigon, and I figured that it was the end of the road and there was no way we could take him out. But he missed his crunch, so we took him out too. This is just from Bright Powder and 1 double team. Maybe we can do this. Second from last is Electros. We nearly one-shot it, then it finishes us off. That was a straight hour of attempts, and this is the farthest we got, and it was only through crazy luck. As tragic as it is, I think this is the best I can do. If I were an absolute crit and dodge machine, then yeah, like a win is technically possible, but I would probably have to try this 1 fight for days on end. I think it's time to call it and move on to the next challenge. Well, that was insanely hard. I figured it would be, but wow, that was next level difficult. Kind of makes me second guess on if I can do this with an Eevee or not, but I do want to try that someday, you know, just to see what happens. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon challenge should be up next week on Saturday like usual with Pokemon Heart Gold with 1 Krogunk. That should be a hard one, but also a fun one. As always, I'm looking at your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Outro time. I am recording this voiceover on May the 3rd, meaning that this is my first Pokemon challenge that I've done the voiceover on after I was done my April streamathon. Man, that was such a fun time. I literally streamed every single day in April. I did like 3 or 4 streams on YouTube, but the vast majority were on Twitch, and then like all the video recordings go up on YouTube after. I've got a whole April Streamathon playlist if you want to see just those videos, if you want to like, I don't know, put something on in the background where you're doing chores or going to sleep or whatever. And then of course the games go up in their own playlists as well, relevant to whatever game that it is. But I was doing the math. I don't have it in front of me right now, so this is off the top of my head. But between what Twitch told me for the total combined stream length of all my Twitch streams and what YouTube told me, I think it was 109.5 hours of streaming, which is insane. And the approximate extra work that I did for like the thumbnails, the uploading of the videos, setting up the end cards, doing the descriptions, all of that stuff, not counting the actual upload time and not counting the time rendering the streams, because like I'm not doing anything during that. You know, you hit a render button and you wait for it to render, or you tell it to upload, you do the description or whatever, and then the rest of it is just waiting for it to upload. So I'm not counting the upload time and the render time. I'm only counting stuff that wouldn't get done if I wasn't there at the computer actively doing it. My estimate there is an extra 19 hours. So, was that 109.5 hours plus 19 hours? There you go. That is how much extra stuff I did in April, beyond just doing the Pokemon challenges, doing that on top of it. It basically ate up every single moment of free time that I had in April, but it was a fun time. I had a good time with it. I'm definitely going to be streaming more often over on Twitch and occasionally here on YouTube, because I've been meaning to for years. You know, I used to stream all the time back in the day, but then between my personal life getting really busy around like late 2019, early 2020, you know, pandemic times, and also me getting really busy with these Pokemon challenges once they started to take off, it's been really hard to stream as much as I used to. In fact, I checked on Twitch. I streamed more in April than I streamed in all of 2024. In 2024, I streamed, I think it was about 70 hours. Whereas, it was like 109 hours or something in April 2025. That is crazy. The most I've ever streamed in a month. That is for sure the most I've ever streamed in a month in my life. It was really fun though. Just a lot of work, but really fun. I'm definitely going to be streaming more often. I'm aiming for, 2-3 times a week on average. I always let you guys know on Twitter and everything. If you want to catch my streams, then, go to my description. You can see my Twitch link there. You can follow me there. But also, I try to make it really easy to know when I'm streaming. If you go on my Discord server, you can opt in to get a role. I think it's in the rules section. You can opt in to get a role where you'll get pinged whenever I go live on Twitch, and you'll get like a little notification on Discord for that. If you join my Steam group, also linked in the description, then you get an event pop-up every time I go live, and it's got a clickable link to my stream. I also let people know on Twitter, I let people know on YouTube, I kind of just let people know everywhere when I go live, other than like Instagram, I guess. My Instagram is mostly just pictures of my cats. And occasionally I'll cook something and put it on there. I don't know. It's been a long time since I did that, but I don't know. Recently I started making crunch wraps at home. That's been really good. You take like a wheat wrap, and you take a smaller wheat wrap, and you take like a big kind of like hard shell circular disc thing. You cut the small wheat wrap to the same size. You cook up some ground beef, get some like nice taco seasoning on that. You lay that down. You put your hard shell on top of that. You put some like, I know some people use sour cream. I actually like using Balkan yogurt on top of that. That's really nice. Shred some lettuce, dice some tomato, put that on. I shred up some fresh cheddar cheese and mozzarella cheese. I lay that across it. You fold it all together with the 2 wraps and everything, seal it on a hot pan, cut it in half. Oh man, it is absolutely delicious and so easy to make. But I should probably go ice my ankle because I can feel it swelling. I've been doing these voiceovers standing lately because I feel like it turns out a lot better when I do the voiceover standing. But man, it's been really hard because if you missed it, at April 1st, I twisted my ankle really bad. Like I rolled it. It's still not 100%. It's still swollen by the end of the day every day. but I think it's slowly getting healthier. I'm able to walk more than I used to, so that's nice, because there's like normally I walk like 10,000 to 12,000 steps a day, and man, I have been walking like 3,000 to 5,000 steps a day since I rolled my ankle because it's been in such rough shape. Now I'm getting to like 8,000 again without noticing any severe problems, beyond like a little bit of swelling at the end of the day. So I think it's recovering. Anyway, I need to get this thing edited as fast as I can, because the sooner I edit it, the sooner I can get it up on Patreon, so those of you who are on Patreon can watch it early, because on Patreon I put it up the moment that I have it edited and uploaded, which is usually something like a week early, and all you have to do is pledge $1 or more a month. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.